Hey everybody, it's Jonathan Good, the Executive Director of Orchard, and I've got something exciting to tell you. There's an organization in Atlanta that's existed here for 14 years called the Lead Institute. We've been partnering with them for nearly all of those 14 years. And as of April the 1st, 2021, they are now a part of Orchard. I'm going to have a conversation right after this with their former executive director, now the director of operations for Orchard, to tell you all about this. So I look forward to introducing you to her. Her name is Liz Head, and I look forward to showing you all exactly how exciting this partnership is for us and how it will equip us more than ever before to inspire Christ followers to launch and lead creative initiatives serving those in need. Well, hello everyone. Really excited to have this conversation. I have got my cup of coffee with my Papa Bear mug, and I'm here with my friend Liz Head, who is now my coworker, Liz Head. She's going to tell you all about that in just a second. But before we talk about how these two organizations are becoming one, I want you first to see their executive director, who will now be serving as the operations director for Orchard. I want you to get to know her because you will see her around if you are a supporter of Orchard. And so I'm going to throw it to my friend Liz Head to introduce herself, to tell you a little bit about herself, and I might even ask a question or two, and then we'll start talking more about how our two organizations are becoming one.
Sounds good. Thanks, Good. My name is Liz Head. I am a Georgia native, not an Atlanta native. Grew up in Elberton, Georgia, a couple of hours away from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a University of Georgia grad and a big Bulldog fan. Looking forward to going back to some football games when COVID season is over. I live here in Atlanta now and have a wonderful husband, Hugh, and two girls, Eleanor and Camille, fifth grader and a first grader. And I think that's kind of me from a personal perspective, but from a background and work history perspective, I've been in business since I graduated from Georgia. I spent a couple of years in mergers and acquisitions advisory work. Spent some time with a private equity group in Birmingham, went to business school in Boston at HBS, and then have worked in operations and then back in the fields of financial services until I made a big switch about 3 years ago and decided that I wanted to transition to nonprofit work. And Chris York, the founder of the Lead Institute, and I were visiting, and I shared with him my desire to make a move, and asked him if any nonprofits knew or could use my skill set. And he raised his hand and he said, "What about Lead?" And that's kind of how that conversation got started.
Okay, so I've never asked you this question, Liz, and I realize I'm putting you on the spot by asking it in a recorded session. But what happened that would cause you to say, I want to leave the sort of professional business world and I want to migrate into nonprofit space? That's a career shift, especially after several years of a career in that, high education in that. Like, what would cause you to want to make that sort of shift?
Yeah, I mean, it was a number of different things, but I would say that one of the most formative experiences that caused that shift to begin was actually through the Lead Institute. I was paired with a nonprofit leader of an organization called Presentia, and her name is Ruthie North, and I was her coach as she was going through the Lead Institute's training program. And I just had never met anybody who was living out her faith in a way that, that Ruthie was. And so that, I think, began something in me that maybe had started before, but really sparked it and caused me to start really evaluating, wow, I think I'm doing something that I'm fairly good at, but am I doing something that is actually having impact on, folks in a more meaningful and kingdom-minded way? And so that began about a 3 or 4 year journey. And then there's certainly some flexibility aspects of having a young family and wanting to have some ways to be around them, that family a little bit more. So those two things.
That's awesome. So that's so for anyone who's watching this who may not be aware, and a lot of you might not be, Orchard and the
Lead Institute have had a close relationship for a long time. And so I've been friends with Liz now for 2 or 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
and have gotten to know her husband Hugh, and just we've become friends. And and so there's this long relationship that exists between these two organizations. It's not like two people sort of found each other and said, "Oh, we should just do this together." This has been a friendship that's been forming over years and years and years. You mentioned Chris York,
Mm-hmm.
and one thing I like to always tell whenever I'm talking to people about these two organizations coming together is that when I was what was it, 11 years ago now, in 2010, I graduated from the Lead Institute. I took, so the Lead Institute has a 10-month curriculum that you sort of a one-stop shop on how to run a nonprofit, and it's a lot of stuff in the same space. And I came to, at that time, Atlanta Community Ministries, now called Orchard, and said, "Hey, I need some help running this nonprofit the Lord had called me to do." I was making films, and the team at Atlanta Community Ministry said, "Well, you need to go take this class, the Lead Institute. And in fact, we believe in it so much, we're going to pay for you to walk through it." And so I came into to Atlanta Community Ministries, now Orchard, and got inspired. And then I was able to go to the Lead Institute and get equipped. And this pairing for me, I'm one of the earliest people who probably had the experience of the two organizations bringing their strengths together to help equip people to run a nonprofit. And so
Yeah.
I'm just really excited about this coming together of these two organizations, not because I want to see two organizations come together, but because I just really believe we can make a far more substantial impact in the world by serving our partners more effectively together than we ever could have apart. I don't know what you think on that, maybe Liz, but like, how do you think us coming together in sort of broad strokes, how does it enable us to serve people who are responding, those passionate sort of faith called individuals who say, "I'm going to take a step of faith to launch something for the glory of Christ and for the love of my neighbor"? How are we able to do that more effectively together than we are apart?
Yeah. Have many thoughts about that, because I think there are lots of opportunities to be more impactful. But for me, the thing that comes to mind is that as I was looking at what Lead could be and where it could go, when I joined the organization about 18 months to 2 years ago, I actually thought about the fact that, wow, we have this great curriculum and we help folks and we put them through this program and we give them so much good information. And then we kind of say bye, right? I mean, we graduate them and, check in on a somewhat regular basis, but we don't really get a chance to see how that lands with them. And we don't really get to walk alongside of them and putting it into practice. And so that's what I'm really, really excited about, is that Lead's curriculum is now going to be part of Orchard's program, and we'll still have the ability to train and impact leaders, but there's a way for folks to continue to walk alongside of Orchard going forward, or for Orchard to walk alongside of graduates of the program, and continue to help them implement it and prioritize it in a way that really makes them take next steps with their organization, instead of just filing it away as really good information. So I just love that there is additional connectivity and that it gets incorporated, and it's not a standalone curriculum that folks go through. So I think that's going to have tremendous impact.
Yeah, and this will play itself out in some really tangible ways in the future, like right away, and then in the future in the months to come. And so, some things to keep your eye on. We've started sharing with people that in 2021 we're going to try to serve 100. Listen to that, 100 ministry partners. I started with Orchard 6 years ago. The year I started, we served 25. So that's 4 times the number in that amount of time. There's been so much growth in Orchard, and because of these combined organizations, we're going to have capacity right away to serve all these graduates coming out of the LEAD Institute. We're going to get to bring them into our Orchard Partners program, and that's going to accelerate us. And then at the same point, all of our Orchard partners are now going to have access to this incredible content, and we've never been able to provide it to all of them. We've been able to provide it to some of them, but never to all of them. Now we'll be able to give it to all of them. So that's really excited. This service now, because everything is online, and with the blessing of technology, we're now able to not only provide this to people here in Atlanta, we're actually able to provide it to anyone, anywhere in the country who's taking that step of faith to respond to serve the people that Christ has called them to serve. So we're really excited about that. But I'm going to put a little bit of a teaser out here for you that in the fall, you were going to hear us talk about something called the Orchard Institute. We've talked about it in the past. We're going to talk about it a way more pronounced way in the fall. I'm excited because we're going to be releasing some collaborative work between these 2 organizations. It'll sort of be the first thing that we release together, and it will be very much empowered by the LEAD Institute, and they will be bringing in a lot of that content, the majority of it. And we're really excited about what's going to be able to come out a little later in the fall. So keep your eye out for the Orchard Institute. We're going to be able to send all that content out for you to see. And as things progress throughout 2021, we will share it with you, but I don't want to let too much out right now. So that's what I have. Is there anything else you want to say? Anything that you want to say to the Orchard stakeholders? I know I've had some opportunities to talk to the stakeholders of the LEAD Institute. Is there anything you want to share with the Orchard stakeholders?
Yeah, I mean, I guess what I would share is this, that I am grateful. I am grateful for the way that God has orchestrated this partnership and this merger, and like Jonathan said, I mean, we have been connected for many years, but I just, as I reflect back on this process from when we started these conversations, I can just see his hand in guiding it. And one of the ways I would say that I can most see that is in the complementary skill sets of the folks who, of me, as well as the folks from the Orchard team. And I am just thrilled to get a chance to step into the operations director role. I feel like that is a really meaningful match to my skill sets, and something that I can contribute in, beyond just the curriculum initiative and getting LEAD launched as a part of the Orchard Institute. So I'm just enthused by that, excited by that, glad to be a part of the overall Orchard team. Everybody I have met, the folks I'm working with on the staff, but also on the board of directors that I've gotten a chance to be with, I am just thrilled to be a part of that, and so excited that I am now officially a part of that team. So I think that would be the final thing to share.
Well, we're excited as well. I have to close with this. Chris York is an Orchard supporter, as well as the founder of the LEAD Institute. And he was one of the people, for me personally, who believed in me whenever I honestly didn't feel like a whole lot of people did. And when I think about the fact that I get to lead this incredible organization right now, I want to make sure that I say how thankful I am for Chris for believing in me, and how excited I am that these 2 organizations that have each had this unique impact on my life personally, that I get to help to be a part of ensuring that they have an impact on a wider audience than even ever before. We have an incredibly bright future together. We're really, really excited. We hope that you will be excited to continue to support Orchard, combined organization. If you support Orchard, you're now supporting the LEAD Institute. We're together now. And so we're so excited about that, and just thrilled for where this is heading. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, and look forward to talking with you all more in the months ahead about how this partnership is unfolding and the ways in which it is serving the passionate men and women who are serving all the people that they serve in the name of Christ. Let's together continue to create a world where Christ is known because of the actions of his followers. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks.